Hello, another wonderful day here, and I'm going to show you around. Got a few updates in the shop, and then we're going to look at my 1989 Suburban, which does not have a full feature video on the channel yet. But in the meantime, I'm going to go through what's going on with it right now. So first off, I'm starting to work on the shop a little bit, even though I'll probably be moving in the next few months again, if you can believe it. So this is kind of a waste of time, but it's also helping me figure out what to keep, what not to keep, and just getting my stuff a little more together and organized. I'm starting to work with some of this flooring. There's a name brand for this, but I'm trying a Temu version of it to see how it goes, because it is fairly expensive, and I'll have enough shop space to use name brand and cheapy brand, so I'll be good. But so far I'm pretty happy about that. I just got to get more boxes of it laid out. I got some shelves to store some parts because parts were everywhere. So also got Temu shelves. These are like really quite thin, but they actually hold quite a bit of stuff. I mean, I've got not super light stuff on here and it's doing just fine. So I think that's all good. I needed another end locker for specialty kits because I am completely overloaded and have nowhere to put them. But this cabinet seemed to hold most of them for now, even though that's supposed to be indoors, but that's what it's doing for now until further notice. I'm running out of space for chargers because I have so many, because every freaking damn toolkit comes with a charger. So yeah, I need more batteries, but instead I think I now almost have more chargers than batteries right now. Kind of crazy. I'm almost getting all my stuff back to where it belongs. I'm still missing a bunch of stuff floating about, but I've almost got everything picked back up. I mean, we've gone through many large projects. Electrical cart's still there. I have more of these hexagon lights, but no reason to hang them up at the moment, so they're just kind of hanging out. And then I got shop PC back on, as well as got a new TV for our bedroom. So I now have another TV out here, which connects to the party box, which I need another party box so that way I can have one on either side. That'd be a lot better. But for now, that's what I got going on, and at least I can see what's playing and songs and stuff. And I can record videos with that still on if I want to, so that's kind of nice. That plays its own sound through that TV, so that's good for watching videos and stuff, and still having the music in the background. Matt donated a chair to the shop because he bought some $600 chair, and now that one is out here. So yeah, it's starting to become a little bit more of a comfort area, if you will. I have this white tool cart, which doesn't really have a purpose, but at the moment it seems to be holding accessories that don't fit in those two thin drawers in that workbench right there. You can see they're very thin. And tap and die is another you fucked up type of stuff, including setting the welder on it for now, while working on my Suburban here, which, since I haven't talked about at all, other than mentioning that it'll have a video eventually, which probably means forever from now. This is a 1989 GMC V1500, which means a four-wheel drive Suburban, half ton. This one I picked up and it was not lifted. It was somewhere in Missouri, about 5 hours away from where I was, and I picked it up for $900 because it had the 700R4 in it, had no reverse. That's what they told me anyway. Really, it only had gears 2 and 3, and that was it. But needless to say, that's why I got it cheap. And I oddly enough did that after selling my 2002 Escalade, because it had blown up the 3-floor clutch packs, so it only had 1, 2 in reverse. So because I didn't want to rebuild the transmission on that, I sold it, which I shouldn't have done, and then bought this thing, which I ended up having to rebuild a trans anyway, which the Escalade and this basically have a pretty similar transmission. This is a 700R4. It's a mechanical version of what the Escalade has later for the 4L65E. And they're both four-wheel drive, so it's not like this one's any easier. But hey, it happened and it is what it is. And because I regretted that so much, I went ahead and also bought another Escalade. This one's a 2005, but GMT 800 nonetheless. So now I have both of them to deal with. And that one is probably questionable on its trans because it's at 270,000. So that one will probably have to be done in the future. But hey, it is what it is. So anyways, I rebuilt the trans on this one, got that working, drove it around for a little while the way it was, and then went ahead and added the 4-inch lift kit on it. I really wish I would have done 6, and I just wanted it up in the air because I couldn't stand it looking like a lowrider like it was. But one thing I hate is that I did get the cheapy kit, which only has blocks in the rear instead of actual springs. So because of that, to me, it looks like it squats in the back just a little bit. Always has, and that drives me crazy. So I'm gonna have to fix that eventually, but I might just spring and just get a full 6-inch kit at this point. I am running 35-inch tires. These are actually like discount tires. They're Land Spider, some random brand off of Amazon, but they've actually been really, really good. I've put a lot of miles on this thing and it really hasn't worn down too bad, other than the alignment's bad, so this outside is wearing and this side's not. I need to rotate these tires around. But other than that, they really haven't worn down hardly at all. And I've driven this a lot of miles, probably 2 years now, I think. And yeah, still very, very good. So I'm very happy with that. The other reason I got this thing is because it has a 6.2 diesel in it, which is weird and nobody likes it. So that fits right in theme with all the rest of our cars around here. Cough, 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 cough. Which, this is kind of weird because it's a naturally aspirated diesel, which I don't know why any diesel would come without a turbo, but here it is, and it makes a whopping like 5 horsepower and approximately 13 foot-pounds of torque, and it is the single slowest vehicle I've ever owned, and I own a lot of slow vehicles, so it's impressively bad, if you can believe it. But anyways, some of the things I've done is I got this alternator here. This is a 150 amp from PowerMaster, and it looks like my belt is already starting to fall apart, so I need to get another belt. I was trying to get a tachometer to work. I tried this glow shift adapter thing. Doesn't work. Or the fuck. So I kind of gave up on that. I did go ahead and do the 0 gauge cable upgrade, big 3 if you will. So I have a big cable coming off the alternator, a big cable for ground. I have my 0 gauge going from battery to battery because that was like a 4. Pretty shit. And so it's been pretty good. I have this marine battery which has a lot of capacity, and then I have a regular battery over here. They're both pretty new, and it's been working really well with that setup for quite a while now, so I'm happy with that. I also set this thing up to have automatic plus manual glow plug operation. So the glow plugs work their normal routine, if you will, but you can also activate them manually. I added that using this solenoid over here, which ties onto this battery, and I forgot exactly how it works because it's been so damn long, but I believe that the button activates the solenoid, and if we follow that blue wire along, you can see it connects right there to the glow plug controller and turns it on. That provides the main power, and then there's, I think, another small wire that is the activator. But anyways, that's how that works. And then I have just tied off of it, there's another lead there on the right side of this solenoid, and that goes for the subs, so that way they're powered all the time. But yep, the other thing I ended up doing, which I don't know, you probably can't see from here, but I have a Leroy's aluminum crank pulley, and I do have a fluid damper on the front of this thing, so that way it does not break the crank in half with that rubber isolated one, which was falling apart the moment I tried to take it off. Also from Leroy's are these lines, these braided stainless lines, because the originals are rubber and they are bound to explode at any time. Let's see, what else? Of course, my Darrell auxiliary transmission cooler with its own fan attached to the front. Minor shaving right at the nose here somewhere. Can't really see it, but somewhere in here I trimmed the grill just a little bit to clear that, but it does not affect it. So got that in there to keep the trans cool. Let's see what we got up in here. I've got stereo wiring floating about and whatnot. I have a remote here for the winch, which is currently not functional because the winch sucks and it's grounding itself or something and sparking, so I disconnected it for now. Here's the manual glow plugs, so see, I can activate those on their own just with the button, but if you turn the key to the on position, the glow plugs will run their normal cycle, but if you need more, you can give it more. So that's helpful. I put these pods on for 6.5 speakers from JBL. Works really well. Some people really hate that they stick out a little bit, which, yeah, kind of annoying sometimes, but it really doesn't bother me. And there's not really much other great options in squares, I noticed. So that's what I come up with for that. We did do ceiling lights and redid the ceiling fabric, though it is starting to hang down a little bit in the back, partially because I'm missing the heat and AC unit back there. It was not included when I bought it, it was just missing. I still kept the old Telefono here just for shits and giggles because I think it's funny, and otherwise we really haven't done anything to the interior whatsoever. Back here, the seat is actually pretty nice, though it looks a little crinkly right now because this was actually down for a long time. But yeah, I mean, not much to talk about really. The windows suck, all the seals suck, so I've got tape all over trying to keep it from being quite so drafty. And this thing is rusty as hell. Got a big fat rear bumper on it that's welded to the frame, and I added this auxiliary tank holder because the last thing you want to do is run out of fuel in this thing, because it takes forever to get fuel back up to it, and there's a good chance you'll probably kill the batteries trying to do it. So that's why that's there. That way you could fill that before it fails. Another neat thing that I really like that I did to this thing, and that I'm actually somewhat modestly proud of, is the fuel door hatch, which nobody seems to have, and I don't know why not. So this, you just turn 2 levers and you have access to your fuel pump area, which, since this is a diesel, it doesn't have a pump, but I did have to replace the sending unit assembly because the one on here was so corroded. The gauge never worked, and it kept leaking air because it was so corroded. So because it would leak air, it wouldn't run. I also added in a check ball here. You can see the little arrow there, so that way it does not allow the fuel to flow back. But yeah, I just kind of figured out where the center of this was from the bottom side, and then I kind of just drew a dot here on the floor, and then I just set this thing on there, traced, cut, stuck it in there, self-tappied that bitch on, and that's a done deal. As you could spend an hour or 2 or 3 or however many hours, depending on how rusty your ship box is, taking your fuel tank down, or you could turn these 2 levers and be done. So that's what I did. And as you can see, this thing's pretty beat up. It's been in here, this 2 or 3 years or whatever. It's had a lot of stuff thrown on it. It's had entire tool carts thrown on it, and not even like the Hobo Freight 5 drawers. I've thrown 2 of those 6 drawer carts, that green one, and I have another one. I threw them both on here, and traveled 8 hours with them, slammed stuff into the edge of this thing. It's very durable, it's not going to break, and it's just simple and works. So can't complain. It's also waterproof, so don't have to worry about stuff getting through there. But anyways, there's my shitty ass subs in there that I bought for like $70, which I need to rewire because those fucking connectors in the back are falling apart. Again, rusty, very rusty. I had to replace these doors because the doors that were on here were so rusted that you couldn't even use them really, and the draft was terrible. So these are actually different doors. Anywho's, moving on. I just added some more spray paint, so that'll dry up eventually, I guess. Got a fuel door. I usually set the cap in here when I'm filling up because that's kind of convenient spot for it. The other side, this metal piece flew out eventually. I'm sure it'll happen on this side. Had to rip it the rest of the way off. I've got the other step here for this side, but I haven't put it on yet because I'm lazy. And what else? Nothing too much. Oh, I did add the Skyjacker dual steering stabilizers because it is lifted and it does have 35s, and that certainly did help a lot with the bump steer per se. But otherwise, no other modifications down here yet. That light that be hanging there, that's been hanging there for 3 years. Thought it would rip off, but hasn't happened yet. I believe there's a transfer case leak on this thing. Can't remember. Yeah, I think transfer case. And then, so it gets all over the drive shaft and whatnot. Obviously it leaks oil because it's old, but nothing much else to it. But I like it. It's been a very useful rig, and I think honestly, right now what I want to do is work on adding turbo to it. So what I've got here in Matt's truck, got a turbo and manifold right here off of a 6.5. I've also got the intake hat somewhere. I need the lower intake manifold from a turbo model, so I couldn't get that for whatever reason. I can't remember why. And I need to get a couple other parts, and then this thing could be seeing some turbo. I'd like to do that to help it out a little bit. And aside from that, I mean, I'm pretty good with it as it is, until the body decides to rust to a point where it's not usable or not safe, and then I think it will be time for a body swap, because there's nothing wrong with the chassis of this thing at all. The chassis is in really good shape, honestly. It's just the body is trash. So, you know, probably 10 years from now, maybe 5, depending on how salty it gets in the winters, I'll be looking at a body swap eventually. But in the meantime, this is what we got as a chassis I'm slowly building up, and we'll see how it goes. It's rough and it's terrible, but it's very practical, functional, and cheap. So let me know what you think. If you have any other ideas on what to do with our beloved rust situation,